baby. All right, we now have the lawn completely to ourselves at the expense of my t-shirt. So I've got 2 painted windows and 1 painted shirt. Luckily, like I said, this is tempera paint, so the shirt is savable. You rinse it off afterwards and it'll be fine. So anyway, our little artist is inside having a bath, which was only satisfactory because it's full of bubbles. So anyway, that was the journey that we went on. Thanks for joining. How crazy. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Twist and shout, twist and shout. Come on now, baby. Hi, saludos from Chile. Chile, eh? Well, in New Zealandia, I think that's correct, nosotros bebimos leche, vino, cerveza, agua. No hablo español. I don't know if you're altura. Poquito. I'm running out of words. Hey Jay, we're back on. Hablas bien el español. Yeah. My words are limited. But I know how to say Los pingüinos duerme acerca lagartos, which is a very, very special saying. It's a proverb here in New Zealand, which means the penguins sleep among cats. That is God level tier philosophy right there. First thing, which is Portuguese. So Portuguese and Spanish, I've had this defined to me by a Chilean lady, that if you speak Spanish or Portuguese, you cannot speak the other one. But if you're drunk, you can speak both. Which, tell me if that's true. This is New Zealand. So we are in Tauranga, New Zealand. It's in about 2.5 hours south of Auckland, in the North Island of New Zealand. Auckland's the major airport where, if you visited, you'd most likely fly into. And that's the world we live in. And we are painting the gorge. So the plan here, and I just need to move you guys over a little bit if you don't mind. Can I move you? Here we go. Come with me here. There you go. Put you right there. Now, the last layer we worked a lot with the muted greens. So we had a bunch of colour, the sky's still yellow, muted greens and greys came in and kind of covered the whole surface, added texture in, but it hasn't actually, it's taken away a little bit of that zingy life to it. So now we're going to go a bit more nuts and add in our yellows, blues and reds and just keep that bouncy, fun colour in the work. We might even get frisky enough to throw around some vibrant oranges, but I don't want to lie if that isn't the case just yet. A lot of this texture at the gorge is kind of a blotchy, bouncy texture for all the shrubbery and smaller trees. So there'll be a lot of little dab brushes strokes, especially around here, which is a mountain reflected. Similar to the mountain of Sugarloaf in Pennsylvania, which also, whether it was large trees or smaller trees, because of the distance factor, it all made the dotty kind of finishing on the image. How do we feel about that, team? Jeepers creepers. That's how you know that Shelby and Seb have a mortgage. Well, renting was fun, guys. I do love the freedom that comes from it. Having a mortgage and being able to paint the house the colour you choose, being able to put screw holes in the walls for frames and things, because a lot of the artwork's quite heavy that I make, has been a pretty fun game changer. We haven't been able to display as bigger works as we can now in the house, because I can put proper foundations into the wall. So a big change there, which feels really, really good. And we are completely raw today. And by completely raw, I mean we do not have mics, fancy cameras, nothing. We are just running on an iPhone today. So feels good, feels simple. The reason for the simplicity is it's possible that it could rain. And so I need less stuff out here so I can make a break for it. And thank you very much to the people in here who've leapt on in and shared the live. I appreciate that. You didn't have to, but if it makes you feel a little bit happier to be here, then sharing that with your friends is a lovely, lovely gesture. Send the rain to New York City. It's hot there right now, right? You're going into summer. Naphthol pink, that's our next stage. This one's quite a fluoro one. Fluoride? Neon. I'll show you up close, see that? That there. Okay. Where can you buy my art? So, first off, I would love for you to buy my art. I would love to have a piece of my art in your home. That'd be really special for me. At the moment, if you need something today, there's prints available on the website. But if you want to get a commission where you've got an image or an idea and you want me to make it, then the link for that's on the website. Now, the only thing I will say is we've got a queue of about 3 or 4 pieces at the moment. I think this one, definitely 2 more, and maybe 1 or 2 after that. So there's a little bit of a waiting list, but I do want to do it. So anyway, and even if we only leap on in and discuss it so you get a better understanding of how you feel about it, to then go to another artist or whatever else, then I love that too. So there's no harm in it. It's in the link in the bio. Leap on it's a type form, and it's about 2 minutes to fill out, and then I'll reach out to you personally. But most of the time it's pretty straightforward. There's very little barriers in the world today. I can ship to literally anywhere in the world. Your local VAT taxes, where you are shipping to, all that kind of stuff. It's all included, so you don't get hit with any hidden costs. So basically, like in Canada, for example, there's sometimes a 17% tax that they hit you with locally. So you do a first deposit before it ships, and then when it arrives, we figure out what the local taxes are in their entirety, and then I discount all of that off the final deposit. So it never goes above what your original quote was. We've had a funny period with the tariffs and things in America, but it hasn't been that bad, because one of the key things we've done is I said, look, if the tariffs change, which they have been, they kind of seesaw around a little bit, I said, just whatever it becomes to, that's my problem. So I'd love to get it through on whatever the tariff is now, but if it goes up, don't worry, the cost is the cost. It's like, I always liken it to buying like an iPhone. Like, it's not discounted, but when you buy it, there's, it doesn't change in the mail. There's no wild cards. You get an iPhone. I like that. I really like that. This is New Zealand. This is a place called Tauranga. There's 2 ways to pronounce it. Well, there's one way to pronounce it, but you can say Tauranga. Tauranga. I don't know how you say it that way, but you say Tauranga. So you roll the R. Kind of like how Spanish or Portuguese people will. He's Australian, but I guess he could be in New Zealand. What makes you think Australian? Is it because you've been watching a lot of Bluey and I sound like the Bluey characters? You can spot the difference between Australians and Kiwis, because Kiwis sound a lot more like robots. So if you're listening to a Kiwi and you want to fall asleep, I mean, you could just be listening to me, but if you want to fall asleep when you listen to a Kiwi because it's all robotic, then you're talking about a Kiwi. It's monotone, it's consistent, it doesn't have dictation, diction or screaming moments like or anything like this in the language. It's just smooth, monotone, robotic. And then you've got Australian, which gets it from the bottom back of the palate, from where Kiwis speak from. You see, when I articulate a sentence, I put it to the bottom of the back of the palate and I push the word out. And that's how I kind of try and accentuate the moments I want to talk about. Hey, Kate, with an Australian, they bring it to the forward top of the palate and they kind of talk like this. So if an Australian's not fully stoked with what you're doing, and that's not fair because that's the extreme of it, but like it is more nasally, like in the way an Australian speaks. And then you got guys like Steve Irwin who are like kind of in between. Like they have that Australian bit, but they also accentuate to the nth degree, which, I don't know. At the end of the day, that's getting picky. As far as I can tell, people who speak Portuguese and Spanish have the same accent. They feel entirely different, and that's special. As far as the rest of the world cares, Australians and New Zealanders, we sound exactly the same, and there we go. All right, I regretfully got a bit more green onto the palette, but that's kind of just where we're going. I've grabbed a bit more of the Candium Red, and then the key thing I do, because I go through so much paint, is you buy about a tube of white per 4 tubes. So I've got 4 tubes of colour, 1 tube of white, and that lets you get the colour on the scene and then keep splicing it back to the light. And the reason why I splice the light through everything, that Loki, give me that. So Loki's got this habit of chewing on my shoes, and all my shoes have been ruined by him. The problem with this shoe is it's a noisy one, so no chewing on noisy shoes, Loki. He's like, what's the problem? RIP shoes. Yeah, he's ruined a set of Birkenstocks, a set of Skechers, and some fancy new Jandals. So currently Koopy's got a little swing with a shade shelter on it, and I've got the shoes, which I'm like, this is 0 tolerance policy. They're up on that so he doesn't chew them. He's just gone and got the shoe, and now he's thinking he's going to bring it back. Loki, leave it. At least he listens the first time, and then he just goes and does what he wants. You're a good boy, come here. No shoes. Hey, if you get a frisbee, I'll throw the frisbee, and if you get a ball, I'll throw the ball. But you don't speak English, so you've got no idea what I'm saying. Hey Vinny, welcome on in. And who's that there? Who's in the UK? I'm missing that one there. Went to China or Japan recently and the people thought I sounded Australian. Well, the thing is, Australians got a way bigger population, so it's not uncommon for the rest of the world to just lump Australians and New Zealanders together. And then on top of that, you're way more likely to get it right if you take a punt on the bigger culture, right? He is a lucky dog. He gets spoiled. He doesn't like a bunch of different kinds of dog feeds because I've been here spoiling him with the Cream LD crop all the time. So he just won't eat certain things, which was a mistake on my part. I should have given him more different kinds of snacks as a puppy. But now he is a luxury dog, this one. He likes to have fancy foods. He's a fancy dog, fancy taste. That sometimes, like at the moment, turns into pulling apart the garden. Anyway, I've been showing him things that I want out of the garden, like weeds, and he's kind of getting his head around pulling at those ones, but I think he just thinks it's all plants we're going at, so we'll see how we go. Hey Ray, welcome on in. Is that Al Woods? Look, I'd love that, Al Woods. But, so 2 things. Go on the website, commission, fill out the link there, and then from here on out, I'm going to show you what happens when you get a commission, how we put it together. This is going to be about a 7-layer piece. It could end up as more. It's going to be thick and textured. Landscapes are great when they're thick and textured. And we're on about layer 4 right now. So the key thing, these pictures, especially landscapes, just somehow, like the valley I call home was a really funny one. I remember I was sitting there looking at it with Shelby and Mum, and my mother didn't really like it. Shelby loves everything, and I thought, oh, is it finished yet? And she's like, no, I don't like it. You do bigger lines, or you do something like this. Or it's something I want you to do more of in this one. Anyway, I kept looking at it and thought, you know what? I'll just add a few highlights and a bit more colour to it here and here and here. And I did, and then suddenly it's perfect. And so the point of that is you are often just like one stroke or a few strokes away from completion. It'll sneak up on you and just surprise you out of the blue. And that's pretty special. Like, typically I find with artwork, you start off, you feel really good about it. You love the start, you're keen on it. It feels like the vibe's right, it feels like the paint's landing well. And then you go through this bit in the middle where you hate it. You hate it. The links to your art is gone. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. I'll sort that out. If the links are gone, then I'm not going to investigate it right now, but what I'll do is after this, I'll see if I can get them up. So you just need to remember Seb Gower Art, and I will put, I know in this world of a million things being thrown at you from all directions at all the time, is TikTok link is gone. What jingos. Sorry about that, guys. Best way to do it, Seb Gower Art. Go to the website, go to Instagram. You'll find it if you just jump on Google. But sorry about that link disappearing. That's no fun for you. Tell me, guys, just out of curiosity. Seb Gower Art. So SEB space GOWER space art. But if you just search Seb, SEB, with happy artist or painter or dancing painter, it'll show up. You'll be fine. Hello, Jules. You always put a smile on my dial when you pop in. And I'm sorry for disappearing for as long as I have, but it's good to be back. I've also got a couple of big goals at the moment. I haven't been exercising at all for the past few months, so the plan is to start exercising. The plan is to start eating right. The plan is to keep training Loki. The plan is to paint more. The plan is to work more. The plan is to get this house into shape. The plan is to put aside plenty of time for family. The plan is to do a bit of traveling. The plan is to do a lot of saving. That's basically the list at the moment, which I don't feel like is too exhaustive, right? I reckon that's a suitable amount of targets. Yeah, the problem with Seb Gower is it's the accent and the way you can say it on the phone that actually doesn't make a whole lot of, the T's and the B's, and they have more of a doof to them, but Gower and Seb, they can kind of blur into be, like Seb kind of sounds like Sid on the phone, Sid, Steve, you can get all sorts of things. Anyway, here we go. So there is a little bit of a style that creeps in with these pictures, even though they look entirely random. We typically don't do a whole lot of brazen yellows. Yellows kind of stay in the Naples yellow environment, and we will use a lot of primaries in the form of red and blue. Primary red, primary blue. We've got a bit of rosé in this one, but honestly, I'm a red-blue boy from way back. That's where I really think a painting can shine. And typically the goal of this one, since we're painting the environment we're in, first step, be in the environment. Second step, just keep thrashing it with thick strokes of paint until it starts to get the vibe that we're actually after in this picture. Haven't been here in Mason, it's lovely to have you back. It's my fault, Mason. It's I disappeared for a period, and it's a joy to be back with you, Mason, and have you here. go. Might get not at this stage, but I might end up getting a smaller brush soon. We'll see how we go. I am fantastic. I appreciate you asking. Don't want to dwell on why I've been away though. Let's dwell on where this painting's going and enjoy being back. Here we go. Now there's still a few little pockets that have touch points of canvas in them, which we do want to cover as the work continues. Whoop. Is that joy of painting? Yes, it is. Well, is it? Isn't that, that's Bob Ross's brand, isn't it? Joy of Painting, I forget. Anyway, might be. I think I made a channel called Art of Painting, which if you're a part of, don't worry, we will be posting it again in due course. The key thing right now is, it's like being live, it's so simple, right? Is that called blotch painting? What's the name of it? You could call it blotch painting, I wouldn't stop you. I mean, you can call things whatever you want to call them. It's funny actually, would Van Gogh be a blotch painter? Or is he a impressionist? What is he? What's Van Gogh, guys? Don't Google it. What do you think Van Gogh is? Is he an abstract artist? Or is he just the greatest painter of all time, but we don't really know why because someone else told us that and we think it. Well done, computer. Well, the reality of it is, if you zoom in on some of his works, he sold one painting called I think it's called the Red Vineyard, and if you look at the Red Vineyard up close, I really encourage you to do this. You can get high quality resolution ones of it for free on Google. Just search up there, high resolution, look at it up close. It's wind, not rain, that's good. And you'll see a lot of his brush strokes are sloppy, they're dirty, blotchy, mixed in, dare I say it, kind of scungy, sloppy ways. Like he's hanging out down there. And better's subjective though, isn't it? Better is a term of subjective preference. He means a lot historically, and actually you've got to go to the likes of Joanna, his sister-in-law, to actually understand why he's big, because he had nothing to do with it. He was dead, and then he got famous, and the reason he got famous after his death, well, it was Joanna. But anyway, a lot of blotchy strokes that he did, and then a lot of defining strokes, and there's a very good review that was in the paper about him, where the guy said, never before had he seen such vigorous madness, with attention to detail, with such not bold, some sort of colour. Basically labelled him as the unworthy descendant of the old masters, which it was actually very endearing the way he'd written it, and it was so endearing. Sorry guys, grab it on your plate. It was so endearing that Van Gogh took it so much to heart and thought about it so much and was completely moved by it. He then said, you know what, actually that was too much and it's not fair, I shouldn't be written about like that. And he's told his brother Theo, please tell that gentleman and any further gentleman never to write about me ever again. And that was the end of it. That was the last sort of article you heard about Van Gogh until his death, and then away you go. But don't know where I was going with that, but I think it went somewhere. Right, let's get neutral grey. Here we go. Neutral grey, azure blue, and then a bunch of a word I can't pronounce, but another blue that's not quite as good as ultramarine blue, but it can hang around. And then I need, I long for, I see ultramarine blue. Best colour that the world has to offer. One of my brags in life from Mason is that you've seen one of my paintings and commented. Well, thanks, Mason. That's pretty special. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Know that I did that because out of all the noise that exists out there in the world that you see all the time, at that point in time, your picture, above all else the world had to offer, stood out to me. So, you're a legend. Thanks, Mason. And also, good for painting. Everyone loves to paint. Painting's like dancing, actually. And we've kind of put it in the corner of craft where we say, no. Painting's for people who know how to paint. I don't know how to paint, so I shouldn't do that. And the tragedy of the 21st century has been that we've tried to get dance in the same category. We've tried to say that, no, you shouldn't dance unless you know how. Or, come dance with me. No, I don't know how to dance. And that's, when I say 21st century, this is, I mean, and a little bit of the 20th century as well. But it's so important that dancing is for everyone. Singing is for everyone. Whether it's in the shower, in private, or wherever, you have to do it. Otherwise, like, if you went to a therapist and they, hey Loki, do you want me to throw that? You can bring it here and I'll throw it. I will. Do you want me to throw it? He says, no take, only throw. Can I have it? No have it. Can I have it? Okay. Loki, let go. Good boy. Good boy. You want me to throw it? All right. He's molting a lot right now. You ready? I'll show you a little trick, guys. Watch this. Hey, Loki, come here. Now sit. And now I need you to wait, okay? You're gonna wait. I know you want this, but you have to wait. All right, you can go get it. Good dog, all right? You all saw that. I know you all saw that. It's over there, buddy. It's over there. I know you can smell it. A little bit more to the right. You don't understand lefts and rights. I understand that. Don't worry, it took me like 3 or 4 years to get my head around the English language, and you're only a year old. This is totally excusable. It's over there. Golden Retrievers have a very, very good sense of smell, and especially with a Frisbee or something like that that's got slobber and hand marks on it, they will track down things. And so if it's in long grass, you think they're looking for it, and they are to a degree, but they're also sniffing it out and things like that to find it. Let me sneak back up here, guys. I've missed a few comments. Hey Seb, what is a painting you wish to see in person? This is a good question. Rob the Knight. First off, congratulations on your knighthood. Wait, there's a second part of that I didn't read. You haven't visited yet. Oh, that's a banger of a question. Can I say I don't know? Because I feel like there's this great saying that I had screenshot for the longest time on my phone and computer, on my old phone, in about 2016 actually. And it was when I was traveling over to America and things. And it was a slogan, a little picture going down to the beach, but that's irrelevant. It was saying, before it's your favorite place, it's a place you've never been to yet. And so there is a painting out there that I cannot wait to see, but I don't know where it is. It might be on my Instagram feed, it might be in a local gallery, it might be in Italy. But what really excites me is that my next favourite painting is a painting I haven't seen yet. That's fun. Sandfly. Have I seen the Mona Lisa? I have. I have seen the Mona Lisa, and you know what? Kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Not the Mona Lisa itself. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good painting. Love a good painting. What I love the most about the Mona Lisa is the security and the crowds, the room, the environment around the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, it's not about the painting. It's about the performance art in that room. So if you end up in the, where is it? The Louvre, I forget. If you end up in the place where the Mona Lisa is, don't be one of those tourists, and it's easy to do, be like, oh, what a waste of time. I'm not going to go look at the Mona Lisa. It's just a painting. There's way too much hype about it. Like, I get it. And yes, you are right. Go. Because what's going to happen is you're in this room and you'll see all these people with their phones out, 30 feet away from the work, smiling, photographing, getting funneled through like mince through a blender. You know, so many people. And the Louvre Paris, hey Steve, welcome on in. And that in itself, and it's not intentional, but that is the performance art. That is the thing that you need to see. And it's something that's very, very hard to understand or quantify, that not only has it been put on a pedestal, but everyone's there to see it. And I just want to sit there with an interview pad and ask them all, why are you here? What did you experience? What did you see? And if, it belies belief. It's a very, very fun place. Anyway, well worth a look. That is, I would say, is it the greatest painting in the world? Not in my opinion, no. Is it the greatest piece of performance art in the world right now that you must see? Absolutely. Has it been for the last 2 decades? Absolutely. I would almost recommend, don't even join the line. Go to the back of the room, you know, where you're allowed to be without being in the line, and watch it. Watch it for 20 minutes. Don't even go up to the painting, just watch that room. Absolute, I don't want to say insanity, it's crazy to watch. It's, no one in that room is insane, and yet the behavior is insane. Very interesting. For me, Mona Lisa is art pop, but it's classic. When you say art pop, are you using pop as in like popular? So like popular culture, as in like popular culture made Mona Lisa famous? Because technically, I respect what you're saying, but I disagree with it, only because when we say that's pop or that's art pop, like anything we see has to be popular, because in a world of attention, enough people had to endorse it for you to even see it, and therefore popular is just anything on your newsfeed most of the time. So the word popular is no longer relevant as a term. It stopped making sense in about 2010 with the rise of social media. After 2010, the word popular really told you nothing that it used to tell you about a work of art. So, like, it's like Nietzsche said in his book, God is dead. Like, it's getting used. God's not dead. It's not what he's trying to say is people are using this word, G-O-D, in so many different contexts and ways that now nothing really makes sense. And if I say God is all powerful, God is good, God doesn't exist, God does exist, it tells you nothing, because I need to then go on with a 5-page or 30,000 word dissertation to tell you what my definition of God is to justify the sentence that I said. Unhelpful, useless, and therefore the word itself isn't helpful in philosophy anymore, and therefore it's dead. You need to find other words. You need to start saying all-seeing entity, all-knowing entity, or all three things, or like the actual term is gone. And the same thing goes for popular. Like, if you say popular art, and what's pop art? Well, then we need to define what's popular. Is it what's widely endorsed or what's widely seen? Because at the moment, we've got a whole bunch of, Loki, where are you going? A whole bunch of influencers and content out there in the world that actually people don't fully endorse, identify with, care about, or enjoy, but they've seen it. Like, think about this. How many things on your feed all the time have been shown to you, I don't want to say against your will, but I know more than I'd like to know about certain celebrities and people just because it shows up on my feed. I know about, and I don't mean to single anyone out, but I know more about Caitlyn Jenner. Like, I'd prefer to know nothing, and yet I know some. And so, like, that's just, and so popularity, she's one of the most popular people on the face of the planet. Does that make sense? Am I adding to that popularity? Of course I am, because I watched content that I may have not have wanted to watch anyway, but there I am watching it. So, popular is a waste of time as a term. And I see us changing at the moment. I see people moving into more secular elements. People, hey Loki! Loki! He's gone for a proper wander. No, I haven't, but you can send me some of Diego's work because I'd be interested in seeing it. And at the moment, the best way to see good art or to see popular art by its definition in the 90s and 80s would be by recommendations from people you care about. So in this case here, if you respect the opinion of your friends and family, there he is. He's looking for a Frisbee. Then when someone says to you, you've got to check out Diego's work in Detroit, do that. Because your other option is to let a robot that's created your feed to snatch your attention show you what you should see. And sometimes that robot will deliver, but make no mistake, and it may deliver more than your friends and family, but make no mistake, by handing over the keys to that robot, it's also not, you're not paying the robot. If you were paying the robot $30 a month to give you a beautiful feed, it'd be a different relationship. The robot is you're a client of that robot. But at the moment, you're paying the robot with your attention, and so the robot's got a vested interest to give you something that you're going to stay with your attention to for as long as humanly possible. So just be careful of that. And which is funny, because right now, you're on your phone, you're watching content of a dude who's telling you not to watch things for too long. And it's a live stream. How crazy is that? I'm like marketing myself by like being sneakily doing the anti-marketing, being like, don't watch me, and all other content's bad, but stay here because that's my livelihood. That's a red flag. That's gaslighting. You just see like the viewer count drop from like 120 down to 29. Everyone's like, wait a minute, this guy's a snake. Depends who you ask. Wonder if I can get a little bit more of a spin on here, guys. Reverse psychology, yeah, at its finest. Reverse psychology mixed in with a healthy dose of gaslighting. And then you get what I'm doing. There we go. Perfecto. So if you've got wonderful artistic eyes, you might start to see mountain range, some sort of valley, and then a reflection in the water. And you'll start to see certain mountains fall back, certain cliffs come forward, the gorge start to form, the water will start to have strokes that go horizontally, less than vertically, which will give the feeling of water on top of the, as opposed to the mountains above. And that's where we'll go. At the moment though, if you don't see that, that's okay. You, my friend, are in the 99%. It's great wanting to be back outdoors, critical thinking and doing stuff ourselves. It's great awaiting to be back outdoors, critical thinking, doing. Yep. Those are 3 good things. Those 3 good things. I don't think I read that right, or maybe there's a comma or something missing there, but it is a good thought. I'm on board with that. Do you know of a critique situation on TT with you or any other artists? Oh, a critique situation? I get a polarizing mix, and I love it sometimes. Some people love the work. It's the first time they've connected with a painting, the first time they've felt that vitality and joy a painting should bring. It's constantly giving them a little bit of jazz, vitality and spark to their everyday life, and it means the world to them. And some people own 2, 3, 4 paintings because they see and they feel the value of them, and other people hate them. Not just hate them, but by association hate me, like with a passion. And the beautiful thing about that is it's passion on both sides. I'm quoting a movie. So you gotta tell me which movie. I'm interested to hear this. But it was funny. There's actually an art critic who said fame in art is a shuttlecock. If you don't know what a shuttlecock is, it's one of those sports you play with the badminton kind of thing. It's kind of weird shaped triangle thingy. It says fame is a shuttlecock for art. For it to stay up, yeah, he's cruising around, it has to get hit from both ends. So basically, this guy was viewing all artists out there in the world, and he was saying that you've got artists who are universally hated. That's bad. If no one likes you and everyone hates you, fame will not come. If everyone likes you and no one hates you, fame will not come. You need some people to love you and some people to hate you, and then you get that balance. And then all of a sudden you have the recipe. You need the mixture of both, which was kind of funny. And his evidence, I can't remember who he was, but his evidence on that was studying artists all over the show. And he found that universal love, that means no one disagreeing, no one feeling passionately against the art, universal acceptance and liking of that artist, was a recipe for failure. How about that? How about that not being a winning ingredient? So it was a mixture of both, and usually that's because they're less inclined to the middle of the line, yeah, it's all good kind of vibe, and they're either, I love this, I want this in my life, and oh my God, I hate this, I want to tell everyone how much I hate it. The artist needs both. They must have both. Otherwise, that is no future. Good night, Rakib. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm an artist, and I'm trying to figure out a critique forum. Recommend TikTok or no? When you say critique forum, what do you mean? Do you mean somewhere to give feedback to artists, or somewhere where artists can give, or the public can give feedback to you? A lot of people post their stuff on Reddit and say, rate my art. That's a good place to go, and a lot of the feedback you'll get is very technical based. And probably more leaning towards a preference to realism. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Reddit. I love it to bits. It's where I started live streaming. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But the best place to critique art, did we get the, a statue? Wait a minute. We're gonna wait for Iris's comment back to define what he or she means, and when we know that, I will. I'm doing a thing where I'm assuming what the answer is, which is a bad thing to do. I'd rather the feedback be from other artists. Okay. You want feedback specifically from other artists. Okay, so the best place to get feedback or give feedback is exactly where you saw the art, wherever that might be. The way to get more feedback is to get more eyes on the art, wherever that might be. And if you want feedback from artists, go on Instagram, find artists you want feedback from, and I mean unsolicited. Just send them 10 shots of your work, good and bad, all of it. Not the stuff you think's good, everything. Send them a whole lot and say, I'm an artist, I like you and I want your feedback. Can you just, even if it's just a sentence, tell me what you think? It'd mean the world to me. Thank you so much for your time. And do that to 30 of them. I guarantee like 29 are gonna reply. And there's your feedback. There's 30 artists that you respect, that you found on social media, that you think, yep, I like their stuff, I'd just love to hear what they think, and you get it back. Do you really want 30 artists who may not gel or vibe with you personally? Go find the ones you want the feedback from. They're free. They're all there. Every single one of them. I'm here right now. If you hit me up on Instagram, I'm gonna reply. Most of the time with a voice message, because typing takes too long. It's raining a little bit, we'll see how we go. But honestly, what have you got to lose? What, they don't reply, and so no one ever finds out you sent them a message and it's all okay? It is more challenging and difficult to put your message out there on Reddit or post it and ask for feedback than it is to just DM them. Because if they say something mean back, or if they don't reply, guess what? Nothing happens, no embarrassment, no change, no public humiliation. And you have everything to earn, everything to earn. They'll give you the most incredible feedback back, or they won't, but don't worry, because you've got 30 other artists who are giving you feedback back. Most people are gonna be so excited that there's another artist out there who respects them enough to have their opinion asked for, that they are just gonna gush and share, overshare, tell you everything you want to know with enthusiasm that you've actually decided to connect with them. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. And yeah, thanks dude. I'm gonna hit this guy up. Yeah, absolutely. Look, send me 10 pictures. Would love to see it. And yeah, bear in mind that my style is not the style that everyone needs to adhere to. I like primal art. I go a bit more crazy. I'm more of the response to white walls, structured society. Everyone's wearing neutral clothes with white walls, doing jobs on laptops, staring at screens all day. I want to be the alpha to that omega. I want to be the primal, crazy, furious return to our human roots that I don't feel like we're all getting today. So I take that impressionism and that primal style and I just take another step deeper into the fray. So it's like if you told Van Gogh to go proper nuts. That's where these works kind of go, with just that extra bit of texture, paint and oomph to them. Speaking of though, guys, it's now raining far too hard, so we do have to pack up. It's been a delight hanging out here with you. I would have loved to get more paint on this, and I want to say much love to all of you. I haven't got time for a proper wrap up.